You are watching Business Heroine TV for the entrepreneur who says she will and does. Join the Business Heroine community today at businessheroinemagazine.com. And now, tune into the show.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Mompreneur, birthing the next generation of heroes and heroines. I am Tanya Lynn, the hostess heroine of this Mompreneur column that we're creating for 2015. I'm really excited because at the beginning of this year, January, I am 32 weeks pregnant. And so this column means a lot to me. And I'm excited to share 12 women with you who are either pregnant or who are new mothers. And they get to share their experiences with you of what it's like to step into motherhood and to still have a business. And how do we balance that, and what do we do with all the things that moms go through? And so our first amazing person who we're going to learn from today and interview is Hillary Rubin. And I'm really excited because Hillary is such a dear friend of mine, and she has Odin is what, 3 months?
Yeah, he just turned 3 months, and I'm crying. That's the new thing, is I cry all the time now. So I'm crying, eyes are welling up.
Aww.
Yeah, he's 3 months. January 5th, he was 3 months. So yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna just talk to Hillary today about her experience, and this is really cool because Hillary is just starting to go back to work. And so, Hillary, let's just start there of what has it been like, taking time off from maternity leave. And I know that you haven't completely taken off your business, but, and now getting back in the business or getting back in the swing of things. How have you been balancing both the business and the baby?
You know, it's interesting that you say business and baby, and I'm going to bring in their business, baby, and also mommy self-care and that, because that's a big part of it is, where the common denominator in both of those relationships is me, and so I had 3 months maternity leave. My baby, I worked up until October 3rd. I spoke to Odin in my belly and said, I need you to stay till October 3rd. And that was the day I went into labor. And I was at the end of my coach training program, The Art of Becoming a Coach. It was literally I was having contractions while I was doing the party. And we had 3 months, and for a month, really, my team we planned it out, and we had 3 launches. We had all the stuff that was going to happen during my maternity leave. And guess what? I postponed the event. I canceled that, returned money, gave money back. And then also 2 other things, which was, the New Year, New You bundle, which was going to be a holiday bundle, which is actually out now, was something we pushed. And we also pushed out an early enrollment. So it was, having the time off, what was important for me, because the business is based on me, right? In that sense, as a coach and, a business coach, what have you, and a coach for coaches, that I would jump into a couple meetings, and I was there, and I also had babysitter bloggers. So I did that. So I was in a little bit, and I also wanted to be in a little bit because of my brain, but I noticed it was really challenging. So if you start to see that your brain isn't really working after birth in your left brain as much, it's normal, and you'll get your brain back. And I don't believe mommy brain is something that happens forever. Everyone's like, oh, it's never going to be the same. Well, no, nothing's ever going to be the same, but you're actually going to be more in your heart and more intuitive. So coming back into this, we did our meeting, we did a team kind of jam because everyone's virtual. It was a little interesting because the hours that I'm working are different. During the day I'm with the baby, and then he would sleep, and then I would have an hour, or at night have some time, and then I would just be exhausted, or I would repeat myself. So there was a lot of things that I had to really kind of be present and let go of perfection for sure, and control. So now coming back, next week is my first, this week actually is the first week that I'm coaching clients, and I had to get help. My family's not here. My husband's amazing, so I get time in the morning to take care of myself. That's when there's daddy time. at 6 o'clock till 8 or 6 till, depending on when my husband's working. I basically can sleep, meditate, do, whatever it is, eat, because it's really important that I'm nourished in order to nourish my baby. I'm breastfeeding on demand pretty much. And we are pumping. So it's now I have a business that I have my business, but I also have a dairy because I'm pumping. And I also have a daycare, right? Taking care of my kid, and then also being the wife and taking care of the home, whether it's like food shopping and things like that. So people have helped, and there's always services. So right now, coming back into things, what shifted is my messaging is shifting, my timing is shifting, and I'm slowly getting back. Even my team, I was like, I want to do all these things, and they said to me, Hillary, both of the people in my team have kids. They're just like, let's slowly get you back in, because I have 6 clients. I had clients. This is if you're a coach. This is just a little heads up. I enrolled a group of clients saying, listen, I'm not taking anyone, but if you want to work with me, we'll coach for 2 months. Then for my maternity leave, I have a e-course, which is a meditation and coaching e-course. Meditate, Create, Liberate, a little shameless plug, but it is there. So I gave them this e-course, which is all the tools, and said, okay, this is what you're going to do and focus on. And then we would touch in a little bit with them, like, how you doing? And then I gave them questions at the end of the year to reflect. So then when we start in January, they still have like about 4 or 5 coaching sessions. So it brought money, came in to keep the business going. And then there was money also for us, for me to be able to have as well. I mean, it got to a point like it was really just running the business, which I'm okay with. And so now I'm going to start coaching, and I know that I've shifted. So my schedule basically is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And right now I'm going to keep Mondays without having help, and Fridays not really having help. So I have 3 days a week, which essentially is kind of what I want to work anyway. And then on the weekends, if I want to work on Saturday, because then my husband can have time with the baby, or I'm working at night. So at like 8, 9 o'clock at night, I'm doing stuff. And because the energy at 9 o'clock at night is similar to the energy of 9 o'clock in the morning, if you look at it Ayurvedically, right? So that's why when people burn the midnight oil, right, you're really getting into a vata stage. You're getting into an energy stage. So that's kind of it. And then, it's been cool. And I have to be patient with some stuff. So that's been a lot of learning,
And, it's just so great. You just provided so much information, and just like the details, because a lot of women who are thinking about getting pregnant or who are pregnant, like myself, are like, yeah, we want to know those details. We actually want to know how it works. And I understand that it's different for everyone, which is why we have this column to hear from 12 different mamapreneurs. But it's just so great to see how you're really structuring it. And that's one of the key things I'm hearing is structure, really setting things up. And the other thing I heard is teamwork, that you aren't doing this alone. And I think that's the key distinction of like, how do I do it all? How do I maintain my business and be a mom? You have to get help. And that's really the key takeaway that I got from what you just said is you've got your dairy going on, you've got your daycare, you've got a team at work, so you've set it up so that you have support. And I think a lot of women just don't get the support that they need. They're afraid, or they have shame or guilt or whatever it is. So it's just great to see you modeling that.
Well, thank you. I mean, thank you for, reflecting that back. I mean, for me, it's really what came out of all of this, because as I'd be nursing in the middle of the nights, I mean, the main thing is in the first beginning when you get home, and I pray for everyone to have easy breastfeeding time. I mean, I've had a really blessed, and even though you and I spoke, I'm like, now start focusing and really visioning that your transition is going to be really easy. And I can't guarantee that that's going to be what happens for everyone, but I can only share what happened for me. The thing is that, what was I saying? See, this is where it goes. It's like stream of consciousness, and then the thought kind of goes. What came up for me really, it was everything being deliberate, right? I have a huge lesson that I learned from my birth. that I'm sharing, with you guys in the questions above this video, and I can even get into it a little more. But the thing is it about being deliberate? I'm 42 years old and had my baby, okay? And my business was my baby, and I will be honest with you, is I felt out of control. I really did, and I also felt like, oh my God, what am I doing? And my team said, Hillary, your business has been your baby, and now you've got to let somebody else take care of it. And it's the same thing with having a nanny. I have to let somebody take care of my baby, because the thing is every time I interrupt the nanny, I'm telling my baby that I don't trust. Every time I interrupt my team or poke my nose in, I'm saying I don't trust you. So that's a huge lesson, is I got to step back, let go of perfection, and go, yes, I might do it differently, but right now I want to have the time with my baby. I mean, honestly, I really do. And so what's really important is living deliberately and using your time deliberately, because you have windows of time. I mean, when I'm breastfeeding, I'm not typing, right? That's not what the kind of parenting I'm doing. When I'm pumping, sure. The only thing I'll do when it was 4 in the morning or 2 in the morning, I might be nursing. I was Instagram. I just really got into Instagram, and all the lessons, I started sharing them, and it's really important, I feel, when you're on a maternity leave or whatever you're doing, is having something that's allowing the creativity to flow. Whatever your creative insights are, or whether you're journaling them or doing them, because they're gonna feed your business. Your business, most likely as you shift, there's gonna be stuff about it that you're gonna be like, it's kind of like some of the clothes you wore when you were pregnant. You're like, I'm not gonna wear that again. So the living deliberately was really a big thing for me. And then when I looked at what is most important to have after having my birth, having a birth plan, because I'm not into plans anymore. I'm like, it doesn't work, because you're not going to get everything in your plan. So what's the most important thing to have? That's where I'm going, okay, I might have all these ideas. Which one is easy? What's going to be easy? What's going to be fun? And I can put something else on hold. It's not important to have this or that, right? Whatever it is, this interview is important for me to have, which is where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it whenever. Let's just make this happen. So those are some things for me. And again, I'm getting into it. And even with having help and a nanny, and I love my son, it's not like, okay, you have the baby and now I'm completely out. It's like, I'm still nursing him and we're figuring it out. So all I can say is give yourself the permission to figure it out. And even if you feel like a crappy mom, validate that you feel that you're doing a good job, because you don't know what you don't know,
So I'm hearing 3 gifts. Is number 1 is trust. You're learning a whole new level of trust. Number 2 is being deliberate and deliberate planning of what's most important. And then that last piece of just acceptance, right? There's a whole new level of acceptance for yourself and the way things are. And we don't know everything, and we don't have to beat ourselves up. What other gifts have you received from this new stage in your life, from motherhood?
Oh, I just want to be with my son all the time. I love him so much. I'm going to cry. I love this guy. I mean, watching him and being present. There's so many different styles of parenting, and the style we're choosing is really about, sitting and observing. So I'm not doing attachment parenting, nothing wrong with that. And whatever you do and do it and enjoy it. I've the gift of not judging. Is the judgment stuff. I realize we all judge. I don't care. I have a whole thing about judgment, is we do judge what we like, what we don't like. But there's things that I used to have harsh opinions about, that I laugh at myself, because I'm doing the thing that I would be like, I hate that people talk in supermarkets on the phone, and I'm that person now, because that's the only time I can. I'm not going to be on the phone with my baby as much as, if I have to, I am, but I really don't want to be doing it when I'm nursing. I really don't want him to see that, because whatever he sees, he learns. So now I'm the person walking through Whole Foods on the phone that I really didn't like. And so I quickly got rid of that. And a lot of things like that. And also just letting people parent as they parent. I'm not here to preach anything. If somebody wants to know what I'm doing, or someone that I know dearly like you, I'm like, hey, you might want to check this out. I have a feeling this would be something you might be into, And so I've shifted as a person. I feel that motherhood has allowed me to become the person I've been thinking everything else would do for me. That like this book, this healer, this retreat, this vision board, whatever it is, right? That was going to be the solution. And going through this initiation of motherhood and birthing the baby, and again, I'm speaking from my own experience, having him, nursing him, and learning this, and even becoming a better partner to my husband, I want to be a better person, more conscious, and because I know that he's learning from me all the time. And so I feel that those are some other gifts that I've gotten, and just being amused, right? Being amused by it all, because it's just a trip. You're seeing a being grow in front of your eyes. I am, and he's awesome. And one of the things that I kept saying was, gosh, I wish we just had $3 million in the bank, and invested so we could just live off of it. And then I was like, well, but you'd still want to create and do your work, and I said it a lot. And then all of a sudden I stopped myself and I said, okay, Hillary, if you had a client who just said that as many times as you have said it in the past 48 hours to people, what would you say to them? And my question, what I would say to them would be, okay, so let's say you had that in the bank. What would you be doing differently? And now start doing it. And so I asked that question to myself, right? And because it was like, I was feeling, I don't really want to work, or I don't really want to do, there's certain parts of my work that I just don't feel like doing yet. And so I'll wait until I do, or what have you, And so I realized, what would I do differently, right? So for me was, number one, stop saying it. Number two, let myself flow, right? So it means that I'll take Monday and Fridays off. I will condense the time that I am doing my art, because I call it my art as opposed to my work. And when I'm with him, I'm present, and I'm going to be selective of how I use my time, right? Or who I work with. Because if the money's in the bank, then I'm going to say, I can say no more. Really, that's really, and say yes to the things that are there. And be grateful for what I have, and and just really deepen some of my practices, is really what's there. It's not that I'd be buying more stuff. It's not that I'd be doing that, because I'm grateful. I have a nanny coming to my house. Like, I feel very fortunate, who has a master's in art. She's from Madrid. I mean, it's like, so I feel that with the deliberate part, and then looking at how my life would be, I'm living that. Maybe some things would be different. However, my values wouldn't change where I do spend my money or what I do. I mean, the big thing would be right now. The other thing is another impact that it had is, and I know you and I spoke about having that Tony Robbins money book, was being more mindful with money and investing. It's actually like, again, being deliberate. It comes back to that. So with my business, now I'm structuring things that are going to be later in the year. It actually gave me a gift to create and give more value, like to give more to, it's like, it's not quantity, it's the quality that I'm going to be delivering, and the approach of how we're doing it. And I feel going to be really build the kind of business I wanted to build anyway. And also because I am going to take myself out of so much of it, because I want to be with Odin, and be that mom. That's really important for me. I want to be with him, is that stuff is going to happen, because I'm not going to be perfection. Like, I mean, it'll happen, I'm sure, but it's just, I can get out of the way. Like, seriously, motherhood can really take you out of your own way, because you have to in some way. It's like, I mean, yes, I now am running a 7-Eleven in some sense. I'm open 24/7, because, it is. I mean, and, whether you're either bottle feeding or not, and whether your partner's in it or not, and, it's, you're in full demand. That's what it is. I'm in full demand kind of all the time. So those are some gems, nuggets. I hope that helps.
Yes. So great. And Hillary, we just we're up on time, and it's just you just brought so much, and I personally received so much from this, and I'm sure everyone listening. So congratulations on your new this transition. It's like it's an initiation. It's this whole new way of being and living, and it's just I'm so excited. So thank you for constantly being an inspiration for me. And for everyone listening, you can check out Hillary. There's a link, on this article, as well as, each of the women are going to be providing resources, just top 3 resources for you. So you could check out those links. And then we'll see you next month for our next Mamapreneur. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You have been watching Business Heroine TV for the entrepreneur who says she will and does. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out what's new at businessheroinemagazine.com today